Okay, welcome back to part two. And we're going to, same thing, I'm going to throw out a lot of animations at you. It's going to be a lot of clips, a lot of videos, and it's a lot to watch, but do the best you can. I mean, I can't help it. There's so much great stuff to talk about. So I'm just going to give you a bunch of things and, sit with it as long as you possibly can. For those of you who are interested, actually, may want to watch the whole clip of a bunch of these things that I'm going to put out there because I think they're really rich in information and a lot of animation shorts as well. Okay, so we're going to go back to where I kind of left off. So it took about 8 years for Disney to make another fully animated feature film since Bambi. And in 1950, they released Cinderella. Its success practically saved the company from bankruptcy. It was followed by Alice in Wonderland in 1951, which flopped at the box office and was critically panned. Peter Pan came out in 1953, and Lady and the Tramp came out in 1955, and those are both hits. The ambitious and much delayed, more expensive film, Sleeping Beauty, came out in '59 and lost a lot of money. In fact, the future of Walt Disney, the future of Walt Disney Animation was in jeopardy. Like Alice in Wonderland and most of Disney's flops that were considered flops at the time would later become commercially very successful through re-releases, and some of them were regarded as classics. So, I mean, to this day, Disney is still, I think, probably the first studio you think of when you think of animation. Total Television was founded in 1959 to promote General Mills products with original cartoon characters and Cocoa Puff commercials. General Mills ended up sponsoring a number of TV series, which of course they would end up advertising on between 1961 and 1969, most notably The Underdog Show, one of my favorites actually. Many of the American animated TV series from the 1960s to 1980s were based on characters and formats that had already been produced and proven worthy in other mediums, comic books, Japanese, comics, manga, just Sunday comics, in the paper. UP produced the Dick Tracy Show from 1961 to 1962 based on the comic books. Film Nation, which was active from 1962 to 1989, did many adaptations, early adaptations of DC Comics, and even did the Star Trek animated series. Grand Trey Lawrence Animation was the first studio to adapt Marvel Comics superheroes in 1966. Pop groups, bands, a lot of pop bands actually at the time, got animated versions of their own shows. The Jackson 5, the Osmonds, and one of my favorites, the Beatles. And when I say my favorite, I'm more like, really? Of course? Why? Why do they need this? Why does the world need a Beatles animated TV show? Specifically, John Lennon has been known to be not very fond of this, but here's a look at the Beatles animated show.